form. If you missed them the first time, now is your chance.
Oh, and how about an edgy Sims game?
Edgier than making gay Sims make out with each other in the regular Sims game?
Oh, yes, you can pierce their faces and you can make them look stupid.
Wow.
I know.
Plus 2 huge games for the Nintendo DS.
Super Mario 64.
And our favorite Game Boy Advance game of all time gets the DS treatment when WarioWare goes dual screen.
But we begin with something I love, perhaps too much. Lord of the Rings.
Someone has hots for an elf.
So what? I also have the hots for LOTR games. Well, most of them. Then Lord of the Rings, The Third Age, the first LOTR RPG, came along. Here's our review.
I like letters.
Okay, EA's Battle for Middle-earth better rock to make up for this game.
Battle for Middle-earth is the Lord of the Rings real-time strategy game. Now, we are looking forward to it, although the crap-tasticness of Third Age makes me a little
All I have to say is this. Please, EA, don't make a Lord of the Rings card battle game.
Or an elvish first-person shooter.
Or a Hobbit dating sim, because that's just wrong.
Of course, if you want an RPG that's actually good, you could play one of the Final Fantasy games. Notice I said you because you couldn't pay me to play them.
But you could totally pay me to play them, and you did. Here's our review of Final Fantasy 1 and 2 for the Game Boy Advance.
Aw, Final Fantasy got an IV. I want an IV. That way I don't have to feed myself manually anymore.
You're lazy. Oh, there's also a new and improved save system in Final Fantasy 1 and 2.
And since the game is on the GBA, you can now save the game at any point, which is essential for portable gaming.
You were kidding about that IV thing, right? You're not that lazy, are you?
I don't know. Look at the interns to carry me to the other side of the set and we can talk about that. Interns! I feel like going somewhere.
What?
Careful, careful. I want soft hands.
And treats. 2 hours of G4 Tech TV guaranteed to please.
I'll slap you senseless if you change that channel.
Find the G-Spot every night starting at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific.
Not wearing any pants. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
Security!
Welcome back to Xplay. Hey, if he doesn't have to wear pants, do I?
Security!
Welcome back to Xplay. Do you like The Sims?
Sure.
Well, what would you say there was a game full of edgy goth Sims, or edgy raver Sims, or edgy punk rock Sims?
I'd say that EA was trying to cash in on a series of short-lived cultural trends.
And you'd be right. Here's our review of The Herbs, Sims in the City.
Yeah, unless you really like facial piercings or goths, maybe you should stick with the original Sims game.
This game also has some truly unholy load times. It takes longer to get from one screen to another than it does for Robert Smith to do his hair.
It takes goth men a lot longer to do their hair than it takes me to do mine, or for you to do your hair. Oh. Well, he got arrested because he didn't have pants on in the other intro.
Welcome back to Xplay.
Now we have a game for the Nintendo DS.
It's a port of Super Mario 64 for the N64, arguably the most influential game of all time.
It was the first true free-form 3D game for the consoles.
And it was one of the first games to use the analog stick.
Well, now it's on the Nintendo DS.
Which doesn't really have an analog stick.
Yeah, well, here's our review of Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo DS. Stick around. Later in the show, one of our favorite games of all time hits the Nintendo DS.
Did we mention that it's really, really weird?
No, but we will.
Okay, because it's really, really weird.
Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
We're the co-hosts. That's pretty much the explanation.
Welcome back to Xplay.
And we are down to our last game of the show.
And oh my sweet lord, prepared to have the stuffing weirded out of you.
That's right. One of our favorite Game Boy Advance titles of all time, WarioWare, is now totally redone for the Nintendo DS.
And if you thought one screen of WarioWare was weird, wait until you see what happens when there are 2 screens. Here's our preview of WarioWare Touched. It's another pulling, kitty-poking good time.
You know, I want to go to a party with the WarioWare designers and the Katamari Damacy designers. Is that weird?
No, I want to go to that party too.
Really
So,
fun
what do you think
party.
we would serve? I mean, we'd have a couple of drinks.
I think
Maybe some chips.
chips,
And
dip,
we can play
maybe.
Twister or Scrabble.
Spinach dip. I'm not a big Twister fan.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't really
Too much
bend or anything like that.
exercise.
Hey, just so you know, Katamari Damacy is going to have a sequel. So for all you people that didn't play the first one, you should have
go
because
get it.
it's good enough for a sequel.